Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqadadan min lisani yafqahu qawli wa ba'du. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to lesson 3 of part 4. In this lesson and the coming 3 lessons, inshallah, we will be looking at the rules of non-voweled noon and tanween. أحكام النون الساكنة والتنوين. In this lesson, inshallah, we'll start looking at the first rule, إظهار حلقي. Let's remind ourselves why noon as-sakina and tanween share the same rules. Both share the same rules as both carry the noon sakin sound. The noon sakin is clearly visible in writing. You could have a sukoon sign on it or written with no vowel, as you can see. And this is in the Uthmani script. The tanween, however, is a noon as-sakina, and it becomes apparent in pronunciation as it's not written. So, the noon as-sakina, we pronounce it as a noon sakin. So here we see it in the mushaf as a tanween. So, hasidin, we see a kasra tanween, written as this, but it's actually pronounced with a noon as-sakina. So hasidin, ghafurun with the dhamma tanween, and we pronounce it as ghafurun with a noon sakin at the end. Therefore, both of them are carrying a noon sakin sound, so that's why both will share the same rules. I hope that is clear, inshallah. Let's go on to study the rules, inshallah. Bismillah. Rules of non-vowel noon and tanween. With these rules, the concern is what letter is coming after the noon sakina or tanween. It's very important for you to note. The letter that is coming after is our concern. So whatever is coming after noon sakina or tanween is what we are looking out for. The letter that follows determines what rule is applied and how the noon is pronounced. So all of the letters are divided into 4 categories, the 4 rules. So whichever letter comes, whichever category or whatever rule it falls in, that's how we will be pronouncing the noon or the tanween. There are 4 rules of Tajweed applied to the noon, as-sakina and tanween. So this is how the letters are divided, these 4 categories, 4 rules. If the letters after the noon as-sakina or tanween happen to be one of these 6 letters, hamza, ha, ayn, ha, ghayn, kha, and I hope you notice that these are the letters of the throat, huruf al-halq. We will pronounce the noon clearly, and it's known as Idhaar Halqi. In these examples, you see a fatha tanween followed by the hamza, and so we will read this tanween clearly. Abadan idha salla. This noon as-sakin followed by the ha. So we will say Ra'ayta alladhi yanha. And I know this is the common way that the people who do not know Tajweed would read a noon as-sakin or a tanween. So they would pronounce the noon from its articulation point every time. An, un, in, an, like this. But it's, you will see inshallah, it's not always the case that we pronounce the noon from its makhraj. There are these other 3 rules that inshallah will be applied. So, if the letter after the noon as-sakina and tanween happen to be a ba, then the rule of iqlab will apply. And that means we change the noon into a hidden meme. You might have noticed this small meme in the mushaf. So you will notice that the letter ba is following, and therefore this tanween, there is a hidden meme. We change it into a hidden meme, and so we pronounce it as لَنَسْفَعًا بِالنَّاصِيَةِ. And the method of pronunciation, inshallah, we will look at each rule independently, and it will be more clear for you, inshallah. I'll explain how to pronounce each rule, inshallah. But this is just an overview. The next one, you see here the noon as-sakina followed by ba. So we say وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ in this way. Now we have the third rule of idgham. If the letters after noon as-saakinah happen to be ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, noon, then we will merge the noon sound. This is again categorized and subdivided into two categories. Inshallah, we look at them in detail when we look at this rule. Here we see the kasra tanween followed by the letter waw. So we will merge this and say it as lahabin wa tab. We merge this kasra tanween into the waw. Lahabin wa tab. And also keep an eye on, I hope you are observing the tanween, the shape of the tanween. Here is different to the one that was in Idhaar, and also the one in Iqlab. And also the noon as-saakinah has nothing on top, is carrying nothing. Whereas in this rule, it carries a little meme. And for this rule, it's carrying a little sukoon. So these are things I want you to notice, inshallah, as they will help you, aid you in recognizing these rules. So the last one is ikhfa haqiqi, and these are the rest of the remaining 15 letters apart from these letters. All of the rest remaining letters come under this rule. Ikhfa means to hide. We hide the noon, conceal the noon. And remember, our concern is what letter is coming after the noon as-saakinah, after the tanween. So here, min sharri ma khalaq. So we read it, hide the noon. We don't say min sharri, no. Min sharri, like this. Here, innal insanu. We see this noon as-saakinah followed by sin, and we will hide this noon. Inshallah, we will look at each rule independently in detail. Let's start with Idhaar Halqi. Bismillah. And here we make the noon clear. Let's start off with the definition. So linguistically, in the Arabic language, Idhaar refers to being apparent or clear. So in the Science of Tajweed, how to apply it in the Science of Tajweed, it means to make the letter clear in pronunciation, exiting from its articulation point. The letters of Idhaar are the throat letters. For Idhaar Halqi, the letters are, again, the throat letters, Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha. What does this mean? When noon saakinah and tanween is followed by a throat letter, noon is pronounced clearly with Idhaar from its makhraj. Method of pronunciation: tip of the tongue is contacting the roof of the mouth, and that's because that is the articulation point of noon. No gunna, prolonged nasal sound, is applied. So we won't prolong, we won't say min, we will just say min, for example. Note, Idhaar can occur within one word or between two words. I have said before in my video where I explained the tanween that the tanween can appear differently, and that is so that it aids you with recognizing the rules. The tanween for the rule of Idhaar Halqi will be aligned evenly, directly under or over the letter. The noon saakinah carries a sukoon, similar to lam qamariya. If you remember the rule of lam qamariya, lam shamsiya, we said that we pronounce the lam qamariya is the one to be pronounced clearly from its makhraj. So therefore that also carries a sukoon. Whereas lam shamsiya carries nothing because we merge that lam. So the general rule is that the letters which are idhaar, they will carry a sukoon. Let's look at the examples. Bismillah. So the first one, we have a noon as-saakinah followed by a hamza. So we'll say this clearly. Min ayyi. And then we have another hamza with a kasra tanween followed by the letter kha, huruf al-halq. So we will say min ayyi shay'in khalaqah. In the example below here, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ. If you see, there is a noon as-saakinah, but if you notice, it's not followed by a letter of the throat, not one of these 6 letters. So therefore, and also it doesn't carry a sukoon. We know that this rule is not idhar. We will not pronounce this noon clearly. It belongs to one of the other rules. Inshallah, when we come to it, we will discuss this, inshallah. But for now, we will skip it. And we will come on to this well with a fatha tanween. It's followed by the letter hamza. So we will read this as kufuwan ahad. Kufuwan ahad. The next example, we have a noon as-saakinah followed by a ha in the same word. This is in the same word now. And we will inshallah pronounce this noon clearly. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. And in the last example, we have a noon as-saakinah followed by the letter ayn. Again, the letter of the throat. We will say صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. And inshallah, just remember not to extend and say أَنْعَمْتَ or here كُفُوًا أَحَدٍ. No, this is incorrect. No prolonging. كُفُوًا أَحَدٍ. أَنْعَمْتَ وَانْحَرْ. Okay, min shay'in, like this. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, we will end by listening to the recitation of Surah Al-Qadr. Test yourself by noticing how many times noon, sakin and tanween is read with idhar in this surah. Inshallah, what I have done is underlined all of the noon as-sakin and tanween for you. At the end of the recitation, inshallah, I will tell you how many times the rule has occurred in this surah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
Alhamdulillah. And the answer is twice. من 1000 شهر سلام هي. Noon as-sakinah followed by a hamza and dhamma tanween followed by the letter ha. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, we will meet next time, continuing on with ahkam an-noon as-sakinah wa tanween with rule 2, idgham. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.